Hello everyone, my name is Kay, and welcome to a demo of Salvus, Aries. It's a visual novel. That's really all I knew about it when going into the game. I don't really need anything more than that. I do prefer psychological horror as far as visual novels go, but I also play the weird shit and the romantic stuff. This is more borderline romantic stuff with a kind of a bad start. Anyway, I don't think I finished this demo. I think I had to do something and I had to quit. But it's a good game from what I played. We'll go ahead and change it to K. It was the day of my execution. The footsteps down the hallway came closer, towards my cell. I had already been given my final meal, so this could mean only one thing. The time has come already. Great. I'm going to be executed. Public executions were rare, though the gruesome affairs had once entertained the masses in the past, no longer really welcomed. So what did I do to deserve the honors of this? Or so I thought. Perhaps I was a special exception. Since I was a woman that was particularly loathsome, especially despicable. Yep, that's me. At least, that is what I've led everyone to believe, unintentionally or otherwise. I had been the target of much hatred even before I laid claim to the ruthless deeds that had left this town torn apart. To be fair, they saw me as the culprit and all of this was deserved. I can't say my hands were entirely clean either. Even if I did not turn myself in, though, the result mayhaps would have been the same. At least this way I could. Miss K. Oh, I see still saying this. The guard greeted me grimly. One of the few people that still treated me respectfully. My one friend here. I thought he would pretend to not know me, but he was the one to ask what I wished for my last meal. We had often bantered with each other in town, or what this town was before.
It's the perfect day for a beheading, don't you think?
No, that's what I sound like. Miss. I hope the trash they would throw at me wouldn't smell too bad.
Miss Ina, it's time to go.
Ina, that's K to you. His countenance was supposed to be smooth, but pity and resignation were etched in the way his eyebrows furrowed and mouth sagged. He was young, only 17. Why'd they give such a task to someone so young? Seriously, 17? And you're working what, dungeon duty? Execution duty? Disgust, hatred, happiness. For those who did like me, their eyebrows did not crease, as if expecting this very outcome. The few who did not despise me hated the path I walked on. And those who did were full of glee, the ones that were still alive anyway. I've seen those eyes countless times in the past year, as they warned me to keep my head down and keep quiet. Countless warnings I did not heed. Just look straight ahead, miss. Are you running? Are we running to my execution?
You're a little too young for this, aren't you?
You're not much older.
Okay. It's not even the same, dude. At least I'm gonna die. You're gonna bear witness.
What do you mean? I got a whole 4 years on you. I'm an adult.
While I tried to lighten the mood, despite the very morbid end that was awaiting me, the crowd's whispers turned into jeers. Filthy bitch.
You've brought nothing but doom to this town.
I was pelted by what smelled like rotten food, Despite the urge to heave, I maintained my countenance to remain the calmest it could ever be. I like when the scenarios everybody has like rotten food. Do you just keep that around for cases like this? I wanted to keep my dignity to the end, whatever was left of it. There wasn't much food to throw since we had cut the supply routes.
Ouch!
So they threw rocks instead. Ah, there we go. Yeah, that's a bit more harmful than rotten food.
Hey, one scratch gets on us and you'll be in the jail next.
That's how they spell jail? Next, huh? I smiled, and I could see him wince.
Sorry.
He whispered to me in a hush.
It's all right. You're not wrong.
You really defending a traitor like her?
I'm next to her, you idiot.
He really does sound young. His voice is breaking. High-pitched and breaking. This was necessary, I told myself. It was what I signed up for. It was for the sake of the nation. So what does our death even do? It would eventually pay off, even if I would not be around to witness it. No matter how calm I tried to be, though, I could not control the lurching in my stomach. I knew this would come, but I was terrified to the core. Death was coming, yet I still could not fathom that I would be gone in just a short while. But more than that, I longed for what I would be leaving behind. My family, my favorite bread, fresh from the bakery, crispy and fluffy, I could never taste it again. You went from your family to your favorite bread? It's a little weird. Is that the two things you really love in life? After everything, why is thinking about bread bringing me to tears? My last moments on Earth, and my mouth is watering. I asked for one last loaf for my final meal, but the flavor was not what it always had been. I wonder if they did that on purpose. I try to remember the taste I once cherished. But better than the bread was the people that shared it with. So that's why my heart hurts so. The guard brought me to a sharp halt. I thought my execution would be done in the middle of the town. Despite the burnt and distinct rubble, I knew exactly where this was. A cruel estate that was the source of all troubles. Of course, they met their demise. He made sure of it, and it was why I was here. His sins were greater than my own, but if he was the one that forged the path, I was the one who paved it. I laughed as I looked up at the burning sky. I mean, if that's the sky I gotta look at every day, I'd probably be happy to be executed. Someone thought this was the perfect place for me to die. Would my grave be here as well, or would they even bother burying my body at all? I think it depends on how she's gonna die. Is she gonna burn alive, or are they gonna hang her, or what? I'm sorry. His voice was barely a whisper. I shook my head. There was nothing he could have done.
Thank you.
For being with me at the end. At least my death wouldn't be a lonely one. Someone covered my head with a sack. A final mercy. So a beheading, maybe? I didn't have to look at the blade that would take my life. I hope Felix can have some bread tonight. You know, if they do public executions like this and they hate the person enough, I'm surprised that they even put the sack over someone's head. Like, I know it's easier, I guess, to catch the head when it rolls, but let them see it coming. And do a few warm-ups. I pray that it is warm. I hope you'll carry on our work and see our dream through.
Please don't miss me too much. and forgive me for doing this.
The blade swung. How does she know? Did she hear it? After that, it was as though I was trying to study a painting through a net. And what a shame, someone so young and bright. More pity. Why did everyone pity me? I knew what I was getting into. My head hurt. Like a blade went through my neck, type of hurt. Walk forward. I stepped forward. If I still had a body, I could not see it. I don't know. What's the point of having that right there? If we're just gonna walk forward anywhere, there wasn't even any other choice. I could only trust my footfalls would take me to a destination. Open the door. The light grew brighter. How can it be any more bright than this?
Is there no way to reconsider?
You forget that this is more in your power than mine. I've done what I could.
I will not back down.
Are these guardian angels? Arguing. Lots of arguing. I think it was about me. I wish someone would tell me what was going on. Keep walking. But you'll find another door. It's like someone is flipping pages of a book. My own life was but a chapter, like ink on a page long disintegrated. Faces along the way, like new characters. A hand reached out to me. Are you sure you wish to do this? There will be a price to pay. I cannot help you. What did I agree to? This was just a memory, wasn't it? Still, I could barely remember anything. Is this like reincarnation? Take the hand. My heart hurts. It hurts.
It hurts! It hurts!
It shouldn't hurt. Pretty sure I'm dead. Hold on.
Make it stop, please!
I begged to any entity that would listen to me. My heart, no, entire being, throbbed in pain for what felt like an eternity. Then, as sudden as it started, it was over. I was at peace. The loneliness never left me, but it was distant. The searing pain that tore my heart felt like a separate entity, as if it floated next to me. It was a dull ache that didn't consume me, but didn't leave me either. What, did one of those beings like fuse with me and it hurt like hell? Was this what happened after death? Where am I going? Oh, hello.
Sleepy.
That's a nice bed to sleep on, honestly. Time was an endless stretch. All the voices that swirled in my head soon faded away. Sometimes the same memories visited me again and again, each time they grew more distant. Sorry, I sway back and forth in my chair, and when I do, I just kind of like move my mouse around a little bit. So that's why the cursor is floating around. I usually don't have the cursor like on the actual screen for you to see, but that's why it's doing that. And then I finally fell into a dreamless state. I think I slept for a very long time. Wake up. There's some people waiting for you. Come on, follow me.
Who are you?
Come on, Sleeping Beauty. You can ask questions later. My eyes were still entirely bleary, but I regained enough control of my limbs to reach out to her. She took my hand. The warmth of her touch grounded me enough to walk forward and through another door. Well, goodbye, nice looking bedroom. Chapter 1. One chapter. This time I could feel everything. Oh no. Do I have to do work in my afterlife? I had to do a desk job. My feet were firmly planted on the ground. When I stretched out my hands, I could see them, every finger. I touched my neck to find it was still attached. A young woman guided me through a long hallway. She bade me to sit down. A few moments later, she handed me a drink. Scotch on the rocks. I believe this is coffee? Alright, never mind. I mostly drink tea in my life, though. I don't drink either. It is sweeter than I remember it, and quite chilly, too. How long has it been since something has passed my lips? Just a few days ago. It feels like it's been a lifetime. Actually, no. Several lifetimes. My head was pounding, so I focused on the drink to steady myself. Where am I anyway? I heard loud footsteps and a raucous group approach me. Sounds of bickering and a few exasperated sighs reached my ears. While I had been in crowds aplenty, this one felt overbearing, more so than the last one I'd faced, and they pelted things at me. I haven't heard such noise in a century. Hello there. He's good looking. I don't normally go for people with red hair. I don't know, it's something about the red. But his hair looks nice. Despite it being red. Hello, who are you? And where am I? What's happening?
Consider us your welcoming committee.
Okay. Fuck the red guy. You all can. I want the one on the right. He looks saintly, but he's got demonic horn, so he can't be that saintly, right? Bespectacled man. Welcoming committee? For what?
Congratulations, you're dead. Welcome to the afterlife.
I mean, dude on the left's pretty nice looking too. I still want my guy on the right. Well, that was not very welcoming at all.
I'm dead?
You already knew this. Why was that surprising, right? My head got chopped off. All my memories after that were particularly fuzzy, but I recalled that much. Fuzzy memories after that? You shouldn't even have any memories after that. I suppose these things take some time to get used to. I should be grateful that I was on my own 2 feet again. Wait, I knew that. Why are you so surprised then? Well, I suppose I didn't know what to expect afterwards. Death is a shocking thing, you know. You've had quite a while to get used to the whole idea. I have? It's been 50,000 years. How does one get used to being dead in a few days? Or it could have been longer. Ugh, this was a pain. I peered around them, hoping to see a door to heaven. Girl, this is heaven. Hopefully it was heaven. I know I did some bad things, but they wouldn't put me in hell, right? So, where are we going? The men all looked at each other. Which one of you will do the honors? So we got a pretty man now. Alright. Hello, reverse harem. Ugh, not me. 5 characters. Oh, we have 5 men. to deal with. I'm just one person. I'm not good with these. He has a name, Velifar. I'm not qualified to... We got Rude Guy, Pretty Man, Velifar, and then Bespectacled Guy. Are you not the boss, Kame? Kame pretended to not hear this. How about we draw straws? If it's such a hassle to tell me where to go, then I'll go find someone else to tell me. Where's the nice woman who gave me the coffee? Lilia? The bespectacled man named Kane snorted. She's the last person you'd want to ask. You'd get a summary that tells you nothing you need to know and get yourself into trouble. Well, even more trouble. Oh no, they're sending me to hell, aren't they? Are they coming with me? I gulped.
Oh, I'm in trouble? I have to go down there.
The last part came out in a whisper, despite my attempts to keep my voice steady. I looked at the floor, expecting it to swallow me whole. Luckily for you, you escaped that fate. Oh, thank goodness. But there's a price, and a punishment. His grin did not match his ominous tone. What kind of punishment are we talking about, huh? Oh. He doesn't seem very nice, that's why he's called Rude Guy. Aries, you are frightening her. I believe we should begin with introductions. Look at you, doing a better job than our leader. I am not your leader, Zaffin. You're the highest rank. Highest rank, so are they angels? Gods? Demigods? I feel more like a father trying to rein in his troublesome brats. Thanks, Pops. Never knew what it's like to have a dad. Anyways.
I am Kame Aster. It is a pleasure to finally meet you.
Oh, and he has a nice voice. Finally? He held his hand out for a handshake. This is the proper human formality, correct? Human? Well, I usually curtsy. I quickly took it and mimicked his gesture, although it felt quite awkward as it was a gesture I witnessed mostly among knights. She's from an earlier time period, remember? Yes. What?
Name's Zafan. Up top.
Oh my god, this dude. Alright, well, here's your extrovert. I don't think I could have handled him anyway. He raised a hand and I waved back at him. Don't mess with her already. You just said... Sorry. He interrupted and gave me a smooth wink. Was trying to give you a high five. Didn't mean to confuse you. He ruffled my hair and stood back to pass the baton to the next man.
I am Valafar.
He bowed politely, and I returned the gesture with a curtsy.
Aries.
Rude Guy. He made no such movements and only nodded at me. Ouch. Cold reception. You feeling shy? Hush. Nice to meet you too, I think. Maybe not.
I am Sayer, an angel.
Sayer. As if to prove it, he floated into the air for a few moments. What a show off. What, they can't do it? Wow, a real angel. Don't tell me you're believing him so easily. I ignored him. Do you have wings and feathers? He hesitated for a moment before answering. Were they ripped off? Only on special occasions they can get in the way. This is a special occasion. I'm being newly anointed here for whatever. Wow, I want to see. Perhaps some other time. Oh, is it like one of those things that's really just bedroom material? You only show it to your significant other. Reapers are cooler, and we have powers too. His tone felt rather petulant. Wait a minute. So we got an angel, supposedly. A reaper. The human comment from before stuck out. Are you all reapers? Is it so shocking? You just believe that man is an angel. It's because he looks like an angel, okay? Sarah smiled at me serenely. Yes, well, I mean... I did not have a good answer, so I decided to ignore those statements altogether.
So, if you're Reapers, are you the ones that brought me to the other side?
Correct. Although you've been on the other side for quite a while now. Do you not remember? I don't. Was it Lilia who got me? I just came through the store. She got you from purgatory, but she doesn't do any reaping herself. You can say she's a bit of a complicated case. Kind of like what I'm turning out to be. Oh? A story for another time. Come on, you two, stay on topic. Do you not remember your stay in purgatory? I was in purgatory? I did not recall this. Or wait, did I? Was that just the white blank space? Purgatory sucks. All those voices, the people I saw on my way here. I thought I was hallucinating. Have you recalled? I'm afraid it's mostly a blur. I remember some voices, seeing some people pass by. I remember sitting on a bench under a tree, along paths. How come we saw none of this? And I think I talked to people, sometimes.
Nothing more specific?
No, I'm sorry. For some reason, he seemed agitated. I felt bad about having to disappoint him. What's gotten into you, Seer? You were usually the picture of serenity. How about we move to the lounge? Oh, he's sweating. He indicated with a jerk of his head at the curious onlookers. This is a rather plain-looking lounge compared to the desk job room we were just in. Currently, only overtime workers are at the office, so we have this place to ourselves. What a strange area. I walked up to this giant box holding little round objects. What is this? A vending machine. That's where your coffee came from. You put your phone against a black part and you select with these buttons, and I'll give you your drink. He demonstrated by getting himself a coffee, just like mine. You see? Why does it look like your eyes are going to fall out of your head? Sorcery. Can you imagine, like, living in a time where that does not exist. You're just like, what is that? How? She don't even know what a phone is. It boggled my mind. How could a box know what you wanted? How could it return an object? Perhaps you can think on it another time. Yeah, we were talking about your time in Purg. Purg? What do you remember? Bro, they're all crowding me. I just need that one person. Bespectacled man. No, that's Bespectacled man. Where's the other guy? The one that actually had a name that first said he was an angel. Where's my angel? Well, the last thing I really remember was getting my head chopped off. Aries winced. I remember it really hurt at the time, but it feels like that was so long ago. How long have I been dead for? Well, we must check the records. I'd say 300 years? Wow. It's not even 1,000 though. That long? The guys flinched at the sudden increase in volume. Why did it take that long for them to drag me out of purgatory? Sorry, no wonder it feels many lifetimes away. I really feel like I've aged. Despite your loss in memory? I nodded. Yes, I know only bits and pieces, but I feel something weighing down my heart. Maybe over time I can remember why I feel this way.
It is peculiar that you remember your human life, yet not your time in the afterlife. Usually it is in reverse.
You're just a weird one. Thanks. Thanks. Now, that simply livens things up all the more. I suppose it is up to me to explain what you're here, what you must do, and where you shall go. You have served most of your sentence in purgatory. However, you are to work indefinitely as a reaper until some conditions are satisfied. I get to reap some people? Hell yeah. What are those conditions? I cannot say. Ah, alright. No, why not? Curiosity killed the cat. I already died. Why is my dude back there sweating? And satisfaction brought it back. Aries rolled his eyes and turned away. I laughed to myself. It was banter that I often used to have with my best friend. Of course, Aries did not seem to be as willing a partner. Wait, my best friend, Felix. If 300 years had passed then, that meant he was gone too now. Well, yeah, I would think so. No matter what he did, he was my closest friend. He was my other half. But there were more pressing matters at hand, so I would have to wallow in my sorrow later. I cannot tell you the conditions because I do not know. You were to serve your sentence until the powers above had decided otherwise.
I thought you guys are the powers above.
We're the powers below. Except Sayre, who is technically from above, but he doesn't have much weight either.
'Tis true. The powers above are much higher than I am.
So if we are below, this is hell? No, you were spared from that, remember? Keep up. So if above is heaven, below is hell. And I've already been to purgatory, so that would be the middle. Where the hell is this?
And hell doesn't have coffee.
Relafar nodded sagely. What exactly is my sentence for? Have I been that bad? The men all exchanged myriad expressions with each other. Yes, You took the fall for an evil, evil man and helped him along the way. I could not deny that. Although he was doing some bad things, I did not find him evil in the slightest. This did not seem to be the time to contest that. And the results were catastrophic, almost world-ending, a calamity beyond all disasters. Okay, make it sound a little bad. Yes, thank you. We get the message. Hold on. I thought things would get better if I... Oh no. No. Miss, frankly speaking, everything went to shit. You sacrificed yourself for the crimes of that man. In turn, he ravaged the world. What? That was the last thing I could have ever expected to hear. Angered by your death, he decided to wage war across the country, as well as the neighboring lands. Well, he must have felt something for her then, right? And she must have felt something for him if she took the blame for what he was doing? What? What did you expect? He was a wrathful man. You witnessed that before your death as well, correct? It was justified. We wanted to change the country. Well, you changed it, all right.
I meant for the better, not for the worse. What happened?
You enabled a terrible man. Even before your misguided martyrdom, you encouraged him in a sense. All right, I understand. This is because I was his partner, right? The powers above decide that enablement of a sinner is also a sin. Especially in this case of your final act. Hundreds and thousands of lives were forfeit. Yours truly had to be involved too. Safin pointed at himself with a grim expression. We can come back to that later. Velafor cut him off before he could begin his tale. Deflated, Safin pouted but did not protest. All because of what he did? No, that's not entirely true. Oh? You're right, I did enable him. Instead of telling him to rein himself in, I encouraged him. But I thought he knew best, so I never disagreed with him. I just aided him in the pursuit of our goals. I thought if I limited myself to a certain extent, my hands wouldn't be dirtied, but... If he was the one to administer the poison, then I was the one that brewed it.
And if I could give my life for him to continue on his path, our path, then it would all be okay.
I'd gladly done so in the end. I rubbed my neck where the axe had fallen. I should have seen it all coming. If it makes you feel better, you weren't the only one punished. There were others who suffered greatly. Him included? It doesn't make me feel better at all. That just makes it worse. I'm not some cruel person. Or I hope I'm not. At least you aren't to go to hell, so long as you fulfill your work. And what if I don't want to? Really? You don't want to fulfill your work as a reaper, so you'd rather go to hell? Hello? It's a lesser of two evils. Consider you botched everyone back on Earth.
Hell is not a fun place. Do you want a taste of it?
And that's where that bastard went. Your disgusting friend. So was our friend the evil guy then? Wow, I got some great friends. His eyes narrowed, and for a moment I could see the flames of hell in his pupils. No, that's okay. So Felix ended up there. All we did was for nothing. I mean, if you're gonna call him your best friend, and you die, like, for his sins, do you really think your best friend is not going to get upset about that? And maybe do something bad? His choices after my passing were ultimately his own, but was it my fault? I was the catalyst, wasn't I? Maybe I should go down there after all. As if he could read my thoughts, Came gently put a hand on my shoulder. Aries. He rebuked the sharp man while giving my shoulder a comforting squeeze. He didn't apologize, making Came sigh, but he didn't press the matter. And just know that your sentencing is beyond our power. Apologies if you feel wronged, but this is how it is in the afterlife. Everybody is wronged in the afterlife. I wish there was a way I could appeal it. I mean, I've already been to purgatory, right? Correct. Although you didn't have too much to purge, so you've been sleeping for most of your duration there. Purgatory, purge. I mean, that makes sense, but... The only thing I know of purgatory is from the Supernatural series, and it is not a nice place. Eh? What do you mean? Well, thanks to you and your friend turned Tyrant King, there was a lot on everyone's agendas. So you slipped our radar. For 300 years? What's a radar? Think of it as something that escaped everyone's notice for now. Man, they really left you sleeping too long. So I was forgotten. Our apologies. There was an awkward moment of silence. I definitely could tell there were things they weren't telling me. So, why is it so weird that I don't remember anything in purgatory if I was pretty much sleeping the whole time? But in truth, I needed time to process all this. I nodded along as though I understood all that they told me, but I felt that it had yet to sink in. You should get some rest. It was as if he had read my mind. I've been sleeping for hundreds of years. Why do I need rest now? Yes. While you had quite the slumber, I believe you do need some time to think. Okay, that makes more sense. We set up a cool room just for you. You knew I'd be coming? We are your welcoming committee, after all. Of course we had to do some preparation. And Lilia helped. She said our taste sucks. Oh, well, I'll be sure to thank her. They said she's lazy and troublesome, but the girl's been nice to me so far. Although this coffee is cold, the warmth that gave my heart was something I felt nostalgic for. Those are like the coffees that I drink. Frappuccinos. I get the mocha frappuccinos. I held on to it tightly as we exited the office and made for the place that would be my new home. Oh my gosh, she's getting in a car. I was terrified out of my mind. We were inside a strange contraption. Think of it as a mini carriage, he had said. Yet there were no horses, and it moved of its own accord. Sorcery. And, to make it worse, it moved too quickly. Would you like to hold my hand? Sayer sat to my right, and Zappin to my left. Who's driving? Are they in the back seat? I hope they're in the back seat. We'd be missing one dude, like 2 guys in the front, 2 in the back, and there's me. Where's the other guy at? Is he on the roof? Is he in the trunk? I was sandwiched between them, squished like a child hiding inside a cupboard. Looks like she'll destroy Kame's seats otherwise. Aries was seated in the front, staring out the window. So they're in the back, okay. Kame, who was driving this bizarre vehicle, huffed a languished sigh as he spun the wheel.
I would prefer that not happen, if you don't mind.
Or else I may switch cars with one of the others. Okay. There's 2 cars. That makes more sense. Certainly you wouldn't dare take mine. You should have gone with Valafar then, or brought your own. I hadn't realized that I had a death grip on the leather seats. My nails had been digging in and my knuckles had gone white. I held the angel's hand, and while I was still in fear for my life, or non-life, he was positively delighted.
You can hold my hand too.
Oh my god, how long has it been since any chick has held her hands? I took him up on that offer. My strength was divided between holding each hand. Please don't be so anxious. You are a Reaper now. Can't die again that easily. Like a fatal car crash can't kill me? Doesn't mean she can be reckless. I know whose hand I'm not holding. Well, yeah, but she doesn't have to be a nervous wreck either. Try looking out the window. I'm sure this will all be new to you. This place is called Stasis. It's got a lot to do, thanks to everything we borrow from the human world. I braved to glance outside. It was bizarre. Gone were the structures I'd grown up with, or the rubble it had become. Instead were looming buildings and bright lights. Cool, isn't it? The Purgatory humans helped us design this place. Angels come down here to frolic, so a lot of time is always put into construction. Up where we come from, there is little in entertainment. Though they make the best alcohol. I had so many questions. The Purgatory humans? Purgatory is a place where humans purge their sins before they go to heaven. Like, how do they purge? Do they sweat the sins out of them? So am I going to heaven?
You are a special case.
You stirred up so much trouble they didn't know what to do with you.
Wow. I stirred up so much trouble that they didn't want to put me in hell. Just leave her to sleep. That's what we're gonna do. Never wake her up. She's Sleeping Beauty. That's why they left you in there for so long. Anyways, rather than just wandering around in Purg, the ones with skills can just serve their sentences here. Now and then you get humans that work here before going to heaven. Or even come down from heaven now and then. So I didn't have any skills? That's not the case. But rather you were assessed to be a danger. What? Who am I dangerous to? Yourself and millions of people. I mean, was that really my fault? All I did was step in for the sins of another, and then my friend went and killed everyone. Point taken, but I'm not that reckless. Aries scoffed. And I'm here now, aren't I? Under strict supervision, our heads are on the line. Really? So don't toe out a line. but she has matured from her stay in purgatory. You may have forgotten your memories, but do you truly feel like the same person? My soul felt heavier. Things were still foggy, and I barely had time to think here. I think I have changed. I just need to figure out how. Hopefully it's for the better. Oi, ease up, will ya? Never seen you be this much of a dick. Don't listen to him. He was in charge of making sure you'd get her safe and sound. Bullshit. You all just wouldn't stop talking about her. How come you all know me? I appreciate the help. Is there a reason you're looking out for me? Let's just say a series of events have led to us being responsible for you.
So if you mess up, we all die.
Lovely.
Zafan, please. It would be a worthy death.
Would it? No, I don't want anyone dying for me. Besides, aren't we already dead? Yet you died for another so easily. Anyway, while humans and things that normally hurt humans can't fatally harm us, other powers can. So I wonder if we die, if that's it. Like, if there's no hell whatsoever. If we're just gone. Keep that in mind. Alright. At last, we were free from the nightmarish ride. I'm surprised she didn't ask what happens when we die. I was sitting in my brand new room. Although the structure I've seen so far have been unfamiliar, this was close to my old quarters and Felix's home. Was this on purpose? They told me to stay out of the kitchen for now and to just ask them if I needed any help, since there would be machinery I did not yet know how to operate. I was given this watch thing to contact them, but how could that possibly work? Sorcery. Just as I started tapping on the surface, something appeared on the screen and the watch began to make noises. After several moments of deliberation, I tapped it. Hey, how are you settling in? Ah! Was it a call incoming? I threw the infernal device and a shadow replaced the sound of his voice. I don't think I'm doing too good. I shouldn't have done that, I think. Sorcery. The next day. Here, I'll teach you how to use it. Shouldn't they have done that in the first place? Oh my gosh. While the device was sturdy, the screen itself needed some repairs. The men were shocked at my strength, though Lilia praised me until came shoot her out. And so, Zafan was here with a case of tools. Probably should have taught you in the first place. Yeah. It would mean less work on our hands. Yesterday. After I tossed the infernal device away from me as far as I could, it thunked against the wall and fell to the floor with a spectacular shatter.
Foul creation!
I climbed up onto the counter and looked for some sort of a weapon. Luckily, I found a broom to brandish at the cursed item. Not that I knew anything about exorcism. Perhaps I should have joined a convent after all. Before I had any more time to regret my course in life, hurried footsteps echoed outside of my door. Are you okay? Zafan was huffing after opening the door and the group of guys piled in. Beside him was Valafar, who was sleepily rubbing his eyes. Aries was in tow, and Sarah peered inside curiously. While Kane wasn't very visible, I could still see him rubbing his temple. You could have knocked. We thought something had happened. The angel furrowed his beautiful face as he came up to me, still crouched on the counter. Are you hurt? He put a hand on my head and his eyes did a once over me. What happened? A voice started coming into my watch and I thought it was possessed. It was terrifying. Ah, thanks. That was my voice. Yeah?
Is my voice that scary?
He whispered to Aries, who nodded, much to Savann's dismay. We should have explained how it worked to you. You must have been frightened. You think? I tried to slide off my seat, but Valafar stopped me. We should check for any broken glass. Although you are a Reaper now, injuries will still hurt since you are new to this life. It will take time for your powers and resistance to develop.
Paper cuts will never stop stinging, no matter how many years pass.
Is that why they all wear gloves? So they don't get paper cuts? He spoke bitterly and glared at the floor as though there was a sheet of paper lurking, threatening to slice him. How unfortunate. While Valafar picked up the watch, Zafan and Aries studied the floor for any debris. They confiscated my broom and then began the lecture. We did not think your first reaction would be to throw the item. I said I was sorry. I told you I thought that the watch was possessed. We had to remember there was no technology from her time. He gave Aries a pointed look. However, the next time you come across a suspicious item, it may not be wise to toss it. There could be an enchantment designed to hurt you. Really? Like what? I thought I'd be safe as a Reaper, at least. You'd be mistaken. Remember, there are other powers out there that can harm you. I nodded. There are rogue Reapers out there, bad spirits from the human world, and actual demons that so far have escaped our grasp. The longer one lives, the more powerful they grow, so there are many out there who can hurt you. How come they go rogue? Pursuit of power or a different life? I could see why. We all stared at him. Not that I have any plans to go rogue, jeez. It seems like you thought about it though. Then you should watch your words, especially where we are. Are there any bad angels? Sayer shook his head.
Angels cannot have ill intent, so it is not possible for them to stray.
Shh. Tell that to Hasbin Hotel angels. Furthermore, all actions angels do are recorded automatically and sent to a record keeper. How can they not have any ill intent? It's just how it is. Reapers are built a certain way. Angels are built a certain way. Reapers are unattached. Their end goals are to become humans, be promoted to higher work, and possibly become angels. Although I've rarely heard it actually happen. Because of this, it is rare to see Reapers in relationships, or even have more than a couple friends at most. A group like ours is an anomaly. They, of course, can have casual relations if they so choose, but most find no need to tie themselves down to this life. Angels get to deal with the nice parts of life. All we see is death, so you can imagine why they want a promotion. Or to settle down as a human once they fulfill certain conditions. Of course, that is not appealing to everyone. And you do have those that have come into this life after once being human, whether it be by choice. An exceptional event, I assure you. Or those that must work off their karmic debt. It's a lot to take in. Sarah pet me fondly on the head.
You will learn.
Aries bristled. Bro, are you jealous? He's like petting my head? Like, what's wrong with you? He's got his hand on his chest like, I never. You were quite friendly to her. Why? Yeah, you're not that nice to us. Or at all. Could it be... I didn't think he had it in him. What, he has a heart? Sarah gave him a look. He certainly can be heartless for an angel. Even you, Valafar. Stop teasing him. I'm sure it's because I'm new. Sure. I defended him more for my sake than his, if I were to be honest. Alright, we'll back off. For now. We need to get to business, as it is. Let me teach you the basics of using this. Try not to throw it again. Sorry, I thought a demon was in there. You're afraid of demons? Well, who isn't? Aries pointed at himself, and then to Kame. Do you not notice that we have demon-like qualities? I don't notice it on Aries, but I did notice it on the other guy with horns. Are you demons? I thought you were reapers. Not mutually exclusive concepts. There are good demons and bad ones. Take some perceptions of the Grim Reaper across different places. Those that can perceive the supernatural have some foundation for our appearances. Of course, we don't know if they truly see us, or if we just look like the scary pictures they conjure of us. I see. They've always been terrifying in the paintings I've seen. Scary things aside, let's get to work. After many hours of patience from Safan, with Valafar and even Lily occasionally dropping by to help, I think I've finally understood this device. While it is a watch, they say it is like a smartphone that is capable of doing many other things I need for my Reaper work. I still cannot say that I have grasped everything, but I believed I could work this. Alright, test time. Never mind. Wait, I don't think I'm ready. Go ahead and send a text to someone. Let's give the snobby one a text. Hi. What are you confused about? Why are you texting me? Why not? Zafan told me to pass my test. I have to text someone. And I was your choice because... because you're an asshole. I thought it would get under your skin. I just feel like it. Why do you seem unhappy? I'm busy. He's always unhappy. Not too busy to reply to be a grouch, clearly. Okay, well, test passed. Flying colors. Now I need to get on with my day. Great, now call someone. What? We call Arias. We were moving too fast. Call Arias.
What now?
That isn't a very proper greeting. I'm doing my test for Safan.
What is it for?
To see if I can call people.
You succeeded. Well done.
Could be nicer. I'm not gonna tell him to be nicer. You be yourself, but I don't think he meant it.
I did mean it. Is that all? I need to get back to work.
Who you killing? Look at you, pacifying colors. He ruffled my hair with a proud look in his eyes. They're like all my daddies. Except Arias, who's just an asshole. Thanks, teacher. Of course, my star pupil. Alrighty. He clapped his hands together. How about we go get some lunch, then Val can give you a tour of the place. Since you'll be working with us closely, best get to know each of us better. If you want, of course. I do. Ha. Glad you're taking this all so well so far. Looking forward to working with you, Miss K. Just K. Just K. He shook my hand with a playful show of pomp and circumstance. Will everyone like me? Well, not everyone. They will by the end, though. Well, not the end of the demo, but... Of course they will. I already do. I did not think you were the type to be a flirter, Safan. Safan yelped, completely taken unaware by a voice from behind. Perfect timing, Valafar. Where did you come from? The job this morning was a quick one. Come, let us start. Over there you got the training hall. Ooh, what's in there? A lot of training dummies. Typically, the goal is to take out as many of them as possible in a short amount of time. Or you have a target, and you have to take them out as quickly as possible without accidentally killing one of the innocents. Does our line of work involve a lot of combat? Depends. There's always the chance to encounter unfriendly spirits. I remember hearing of those before, but I didn't think it would be something I'd actually deal with.
I have to fight ghosts?
Yes. I looked at him in horror. You jest, surely. Madame, I assure you I do not. While his face was relatively smooth, I could definitely see him biting back a smile. Was my dilemma a source of amusement to him? How cruel. That is why you must learn to protect yourself from them. I know some combat. My best friend had taught me since we were younger.
Didn't do such a good job, did he? You're here dead, aren't you?
I wouldn't keep calling him my best friend. That's like... Oh, that's really bad. That was my own decision. Only because you didn't know how to fight enough to run away, right? Arias, enough. You talk a lot for someone in second place. Ouch. Second place in what? You see, we keep a tally of the scores from the training hall. I'm not in second place. I'm merely tied with Kame. Indeed, and since you were tied for first, neither of you are the winner. So does that not naturally make you second place? I I think you're both winners. Thanks. Still beat you, Velafor, haven't I? So you have. Since you're so proficient, how about you show Miss K here the ropes later? Please just call me K. Very well then. Me? Isn't the tour your job? Are you trying to shirk your duties off to me? For shame. I'm not you, Aries. I'm the tour guide. You can handle her training. For someone who made sure her arrival would be perfect, you would enjoy pretending other. Aries glared with such intensity even I had to look away. You did? None of your business. He briskly walked away. Aries. Fine, later. And then he went out of sight. Very well. But as to what I was saying before, you will meet ill spirits, yes, but should not be too often. You are not to harm humans, but if you are on an assignment as a fixer, the occasion may arise. There are also the rogue reapers, or rogues for short. You may need to protect yourself against them. Or conduct arrests if required. Well, I have a lot of responsibilities, don't I? And you shall carry them out wonderfully. Ah, I forgot to explain about the office. Post-reaping reports are filed here. Reports. Do I have to write them too? No, we have separate staff to review the actual reapings. Reapings are recorded automatically. Typically, the recordings are studied only if there is an anomaly. Recorded automatically? Yes, enter a hall of memories. That sounds fancy.
Which is not a stop on your tour.
From out of nowhere, Kane popped in and regarded Velafor with a stern countenance.
Must each one of you interrupt me?
In return, he greeted Kane with a withering sigh. Pardon my rudeness, but yes, I believe that is a lesson for another time. Oh, now I'm more curious. He chuckled, his eyes crinkling with his laugh. Hold on to that curiosity. I assure you, you'll be going somewhere much better in a bit. Far more magical. Ah, the gate? Precisely. How about we take her to the human world? She should see what it is like in the present day. Goodness, do you mean right now? Why not?
Oh, are you going to the human world? I shall come along.
I was not informed that this would be part of the tour. He was rubbing his temple now, much like a school teacher who had lost control of his students. I got a demon and an angel on my side. But it'll be fun anyway, right? Can't wait to see how much the human world has changed. It's gonna be like Cyberpunk 2077. Perhaps I could stand to wait longer. I was still not used to the sensation of riding. What was it called? Ah, an elevator. My stomach churned as we seemed to descend for ages. What if I can't handle it? Are you excited to go into the human world? Perhaps he could sense I was rattled and spoke in soothing tones. Sir, do you not have any work to attend to? No angelic business of any sort? You must not have a lot of work to come along with us. Why is it his business? Aries had seen us all going to the elevator in the hallway and tagged along without being asked. Why are you even in here?
I
wonder. Perhaps this is part of my business.
And you're joining us too?
Because, like it or not, you're my business too.
I'm sure you don't have to tag along when there's like 3 other bodyguards around me. Arias rolled his eyes, but said nothing else after that. There's only one thing on this floor, with this key here. It was a short walk from the elevator. While the rest of the building was styled differently, age showed in this hallway. How come this place is rather dilapidated? Strange, is it not? We live in the city of stasis. Our weather changes and we have day and night cycles. Yet it is all artificial. I suppose it is to give a semblance of routine, change. So consider this hallway to be the slow representation of change. While time does not pass here, centuries have passed beyond this door. The 6 of us gathered in front of the gate, yeah. 6? I think we could do without Arias. Centuries have passed. Yes. However, we can access any point of time in the past. We do so regularly. Why is that? There are more humans than Reapers. Therefore, there are many more dead souls than Reapers. Meaning, you are understaffed? Precisely. Different Reapers are assigned to different points of time and geographic locations. We're mostly caught up, but there are stragglers. Occasionally there is some trouble that occurs that are outside the records of history that we must correct. Would it not be better to go in order to collect souls? You would think so, but the powers above say otherwise. We would be centuries behind in our own development, unfortunately. Humans have their follies, but what benefits them also benefits us. We can study patterns in technology, society, and all else, and apply it to our city of stasis. Or learn where we must revise and interfere in history, and how to do so. That falls to fixers, like Safan and Sayre. That was a lot of information, and I had a lot of questions. Are their souls not waiting for a long time? Yes and no. The second we go to retrieve them, it is right after their death. Even if they waited until now, our retrieval changes the time they've actually waited for eventually.
I see. It seems lonely, waiting for centuries.
But then I suppose they haven't waited in the end. Exactly. The problem is that sometimes before we get to them, they can become troublesome spirits. If wayward, they cause mayhem, or worse, turn evil. It's a broken system. And we are naysayers, of course. Arias hung to the back, and Zafan and Sayre each held my hand as Kame approached the gate. Best to show you this part in practice. Remember 2 things. Do not harm any of the humans, and do not interfere in their affairs. God, I think that's gonna be our downfall right there. I nodded like a good student. Forgive me for taking over, Valafar. It is quite alright. It was not as though I had prepared for this part of the lesson in advance. While he smiled, his tone indicated that he was quite put out. Anyway. He held up a pocket watch with a blue cover. No View City by the Roseview Shopping Center, present day. The door opened and the entryway glowed white. Follow me. Yes, sir. I was speaking to Kay. Rude. Without sparing a second glance, Kame stepped forward. Would you like to go next? I looked at the doorway that swallowed came. Although it wasn't entirely different from the doors I passed through in my dream, there was a nervous pit inside of my stomach. It's nothing to be afraid of. Here, I'll show you. Is he being nice? Calm down, bro. Surprisingly, Aries spoke up, and in a moment he was gone as well. Aw, see, he does care. He's gonna come back through the doorway and be like, I do not. He would have your hide if he heard that. Shall I take my leave next? Let's all go together. The men nodded at me, with my hands still clasped in between theirs. We walked forward. A cold breeze tickled my face, and my clothes rustled. I feared the sensation would be unpleasant, but it was no different than stepping outside. Here we are. My escorts let go of my hand and gestured towards the sky. What do you think? This place was not unlike stasis. Strange buildings were all around, although they seemed more plain than the ones I've seen back home. Not that I've been in the non-human world for long. In fact, it was strange to think of myself as different from the humans. It is unfamiliar. Then I do believe it's time to familiarize yourself. Shopping? How about we get some bubble tea? I can sense your true motives in coming along. Oh my gosh, look at all of them. My harem of men. Let's see. Reaper. Angel. Demon. Reaper. Demon. I still don't know how I would think of Aries as a demon. Like, he's got elven ears, but it's not demonic to me. They continued to rattle off suggestions as we went around. The people around us were nothing like the ones I've lived amongst. Their clothes were of far less substance, but also far more colorful. Everything was so cool. It was a little overwhelming. There were so many shops with things I'd never seen before, and scents from all directions. As the others continued ahead, I found myself hanging back to take in the scenery. Hey miss, you like adventure? Shady person. Huh? Have I the offer for you? It won't take too long, and you'll get a free trip out of it. He held out a leaflet of paper with some pictures on it. Oh, it did look pretty. Well, I suppose that's nice. Wait a minute. I thought they wouldn't be able to see us. We're Reapers. Since we're Reaper, is this person able to see them as well? Isn't it? Come this way. Are you in an alleyway? So you see, Kay, I think you would quite like these bubble waffles. Kay? So I wandered off without them.
Hey, where did she go?
What do you mean, where did she go?
Oh, Raya's gonna be pissed. Chapter 2. This is a demo. I don't know how far it will go, but I'm going to end it before we get into chapter 2. Seems like a very fun visual novel. I like it. I like all the men. I like screwing around with Aries because it's funny to make him angry. Yeah, I hope to play it sometime in the future. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.